Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1984 Detroit Tigers season. Today's matchup is between the Boston Red Sox and the Detroit Tigers at Tiger Stadium. On the mound for the Red Sox today is Mike Chris, whose record is 4-4 with a 5.99 ERA. And pitching for the Tigers today is Bert, whose record is 6-1 with a 3.03 ERA. Okay, so we just wrapped up a 9-game road trip in which we went 5-4. I suppose coming out of that road trip with a winning record is better than the opposite, I suppose. So we'll take what we can get. There were a couple of real bummers in there. The first 2 games of this Brewers series in which our bullpen blew a save and we took the loss. It almost happened again yesterday as Dave Smith came in the 9th inning and blew another save opportunity. He's gotten as many blown saves already this season as Roger Weaver did for us the whole season last year. So a bit of a bummer. I'm not really sure what to do about our bullpen. Is this just an anomaly where we're going through this stretch where our bullpen is giving up runs and giving us a team ERA where maybe we're falling back toward the pack? I'm not sure, but if you look at our team ERA here, it's a 3.77, and we are by far the best ERA in the American League. We're the only team with an ERA under 4. So while I'm uncomfortable with our bullpen situation right now as we're shuffling people around to AAA and back to give them rest, I'm not overly concerned. But I will say that I am keeping an eye out for closers that may be able to help us out. And maybe we move Dave Smith out of the closer role into a setup role where perhaps he's more effective. I don't know. But that's certainly something that I'm considering. And so going back to the calendar here, you can see this is the last day of the month for us. So in a separate video after this video, we will have the end of the month of May's summary video in which we'll take a look at the standings through May. In addition to that, we will take a look at the amateur draft. That draft will take place in 9 days. So we'll do the draft preview in that video, as well as a league leaders video in which we will take a look at all of the league leaders that we all the leaders in all the baseball categories through our sim. I don't know how to say it. I guess all of the totals for our league leaders from 1980 to 1984. That's what we're going to take a look at. So since we began our sim, who are the leaders in the major baseball categories? I just couldn't figure out a way to spit that out. So, all right, well, let's just get to the game then. And I appreciate everyone following along. Like and or subscribe to the channel. For those that are interested, I did have my interview with CBS News, the local affiliate here in Tucson, and that news story aired on the 30th, so just a few days ago. I took a few days before I wanted to post it in order to kind of see whether or not I thought it was a fair interview. I guess I'm on the fence about it, but what I will do is in the comments below, I'm going to put a link to a 5-minute interview that I had, 5 minutes of a 1-hour interview that I conducted with CBS, which I felt was probably the most accurate part of the interview. And if you want to check it out, I'll have the link below. Okay, wow, I did not realize we had 3 bullpen arms unavailable for today, so that puts us behind the 8 ball automatically. We're going to have 3 lefties and only 1 righty out of the pen. That's not good, but I guess it is what it is. All right, Bert Blyleven's on the mound. Hey, he pitched a great game his last time out. I think he went 7 innings. The current Red Sox lineup is batting .241 against him. I mean, I don't think these are accurate anymore, so it's probably not even worth mentioning, but maybe Blyleven can go deep into the ball game today and we'll have a better shot. Maybe he has to. Okay, Mike Chris, he is a left-hander. We faced him a couple times this year. Boston is really having tons of injury problems with their starters. We'll talk about that in a minute. Kirk Gibson will be out of the ball game today due to being tired. So Kevin Bass will be in left field. Chet Lemon will be in right today. Everybody else is our regular guys. Let's go ahead and do the lineup rundown for the Boston Red Sox. Batting leadoff and DHing today is Chico Walker. Batting second in center field is Schelle Tarver. Batting third at third base is Wade Boggs. Batting cleanup, playing first base is Pat Dodson. Batting fifth in left field is Jim Rice. Batting sixth in right field is Clint Hurdle. Batting seventh at shortstop is Dickie THON. Batting eighth and catching is Dennis Littlejohn. And batting ninth at second base is Marty Barrett. Okay, Bert Blyleven on the mound. He is making his 11th start. That's one more than he made all last year. He's 6-1 with a 3.03 ERA, 55 strikeouts and 71 in a third innings pitched. Opponents are batting .250 against him. He's got 2 complete games and 2 shutouts this year. His fastball tops out at 89 miles an hour. He is a fly ball pitcher. The only good pitch he has is his sidearm curve, which apparently is up a couple of ticks in rating. Overall, he is rated a 79. The 33-year-old righty is a free agent at the end of the 86 season. Look at his log. He's won 4 starts in a row. He's given up only 5 runs in those 4 starts. 6 innings in his last start, giving up 1 run and 5 hits and 2 walks, striking out 6. That's coming off that 11 strikeout performance against the Yankees, in which he tossed a shutout. So he is on a roll. Another way to look at it is he is due to get crushed. I hope that's not today. Let's take a look at the Tigers' defense. Pretty solid all the way around. We have, as I mentioned before, we have in left field Kevin Bass. That's actually his natural position and his best defensive position. Lemon's out there in center. And we've got Lance Parrish behind the plate today. Okay, Chico Walker. Switch hitter leading off against Bert Blyleven. Walker batting .272 with 5 home runs. A comebacker to Blyleven, and he makes the play. 1 down. Next man up is Schelle Tarver. I think you might have saw. I think he's 3rd in batting average right now in the American League. The first 3 in batting average are all Boston players. He dumps a fly ball into left center field for a hit. That will bring up Wade Boggs. He is leading the American League in batting average. Batting .404 versus right-handers. Will Tarver be running here? Oh, he was running. Is caught stealing second. That happened so quickly. I almost didn't. I guess he got picked off because he didn't throw a pitch. Doesn't say picked off. That's so weird. Tarver, he's 20 for 23 despite only having an 80 speed. So he's just average. He's slower than Trammell. He's slower than Whitaker. And yet he's got 20 stolen bases. I don't know. That might be just part of the Boston strategy. So 2 down. Here is Wade Boggs. Boggs rips it right at Whitaker. And Lou makes the play. Okay, let's take a look at the Tigers lineup rundown for today's ballgame versus the left-hander Mike Chris. Batting leadoff. Playing shortstop is Alan Trammell. Batting second at third base is George Brett. Batting third at first base is Greg Brock. Batting cleanup and DHing is Kenny Smith. Batting fifth in right field is Glenn Wilson. Batting sixth in left field is Kevin Bass. Batting seventh at second base is Sweet Lou Whitaker. Batting eighth and catching is Lance Parrish. And batting ninth in center field is Chet Lemon. Okay, Mike Chris getting the start today. This is his 10th start. He's 4-3 with a, oh, you know what? This is one of those messed up pitching totals. So we're gonna look at his log. We'll get the proper total there. Anyway, his record is 4-4. He has a 5.99 ERA with 34 strikeouts in 67 2/3 innings pitched. 2 complete games. He does have a shutout. In fact, he's coming off of a shutout against Milwaukee. Went 9 innings, giving up 3 hits and a walk. So he's coming into the game red hot. His fastball tops out at 91 miles an hour. Ground ball percentage is 47%. His changeup is his best pitch. It's rated at 94. Overall rated at 87. The 26-year-old lefty goes to free agency in 1987. So the Boston Red Sox pitching rotation is in shambles right now. They have their top 3 starters are all on the IL. Oil Can Boyd went down after his first start of the year. Bob Ojeda will be back in a few games. And who's the other guy? I'm drawing a blank on the third starter at the moment. But John Tudor is now their best pitcher. Mike Chris is their number 2. And they have 3 schlubs rounding out the rotation. We'll see those guys later on. Here is Alan Trammell leading off. Take a look, at the Boston defense. They are solid all the way around. And don't forget, Dennis Littlejohn behind the plate, I believe, has a 94 arm, so we will not be running today. Here's Trammell leading it off. A high fly ball in the left center field. 1 down as Trammell flies out to Jimmy Rice in left. Next man up is George Brett. We're putting him in the number 2 spot today. That's why, because he crushes lefties. Oh, it's a line drive. Unfortunately, Jim Rice just threw his glove out and made the catch. I thought for sure that was going to fall in. 2 quick outs for Mike Chris. Here is Greg Brock. His hot start versus lefties has kind of gone by the wayside. He's in a bit of a slump. And he gets jammed. Being a fly ball to right center field, it will be caught by the right fielder, Clint Hurdle. So a 1-2-3 inning, of course. We go to the top of the second. Pat Dodson leading off versus Bert Blyleven. Dodson leading the team with 10 home runs. He's going to walk to start the second. So leadoff man on first. Here's Jim Rice. Jim Rice, Hall of Famer, batting .270 with 6 home runs. A slow roller to second. That's a guaranteed double play with those 2 base runners. 4-6-1. Wait. 4-6-1. What is Brock doing not in the play? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, whatever. 2 down. Clint Hurdle up next. And Hurdle pulls it to Brock. He'll get this one. And there's out number 3. All right. We go to the bottom of the second inning. We've got Kenny Smith leading off. Smith just cruise control right now, batting .291. 14 home runs. He does strike out a lot. He does walk a lot. That was a 10-pitch at-bat in which he takes strike 3 looking. 1 out. Here's Glenn Wilson. Wilson, I don't know what to do with. This guy, Wilson, was batting .280 over the last 2 years, and his average has dipped down to .245. Here's Kevin Bass. He's on a hot streak. He had a 5-for-5 game and 3 hits yesterday. Give him another with a base hit to left field. That falls in front of Jim Rice. We will go for second, and Bass is thrown out. A 60% chance, and Jim Rice has a terrible arm. So that might be the indicator that we're going to lose this ball game, or very well could be the turning point early on as we go to the top of the third. There's nothing wrong with trying to go for a double with 2 down, get a runner in scoring position. Dickie THON leading off. THON, maybe the only hitter in this lineup. It just not hitting well. He's batting .239 with 5 homers, and he hits it over Lemon's head for a double. So I just said Lemonhead. Okay, runner on second. Here's Dennis Littlejohn. He is taking over the catching duties versus right-handers, as their catcher, Gino Petralli, is on the IL for the rest of the season. And a base hit. It's 1-0. So that was the momentum shift. I knew, we know that this happens every time. I don't know why I did that. I guess I should have thought it through. It's 1-0 as after getting thrown out at second, they've had back-to-back hits. And that probably will be the ball game for us. Yeah, the backup catcher steals second, so we know this game is over. That is his first stolen base of the year. And now we're just playing it out. Barrett, who's number 2 in the American League in batting average, grounds out to short. Littlejohn will have to hold. We're back to Chico Walker, who strikes out. And now the lefties are coming up. Here's Tarver. He had the blue pit, and it was caught stealing somehow. And the walk, and then Wade Boggs, a ground ball to second. So we get out of it, but the damage was done. There's a run. It's 1-0. Sweet Lou leading off versus Chris. Of course, Mike Chris is Cy Young today. Why wouldn't he be? He's coming off a shutout and is with a 6 ERA. And we're not going to be able to get anything against him today. So, yeah, we're just going to push the buttons to get through this. Dodson strikes out. Jim Rice flies out to right. Clint hurdle. Ground ball to second. Alan Trammell. Oh, he shoots it through the right side with a base hit. I guess we'll hit and run. Ground ball to third. Boggs. Only play was to go to first. So we have the tying run in scoring position. Yeah, Brock strikes out, of course. That's 4 Ks for Chris. And Smith strikes out for the second time. Yeah, this game sucks. I mean, just because Bass was thrown out at second, I mean, that made all the difference in the ballgame. Barrett with the base hit. That's the 4th hit. To go with 2 walks against Blyleven. A comebacker from Walker. There's the error, so this is going to get out of hand right now. Yeah, fly ball to right center field. Will there be another error? Nope. I think we have more pitcher errors probably in the last month than we do errors combined from other positions. And that's not hyperbole. I think that's actually a fact. Got to do more PFP. We're just pushing buttons. There's nothing we can do from here on out. An error by Boggs. A tapper from Lou. And my large adult son flies out to right. Yep. 6th inning. Boggs gets sawed off. Mike Chris, by the way, Mike Chris, by the way, of all pitchers, has, 14 innings in a row scoreless, plus whatever he finished his last game off with? Is that going to fall in? Yeah, of course it is. Dickie THON popping it up to Brock. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. Normally I think, if we could just hang in there long enough, we could do something, but Mike Chris has only thrown 69 pitches. So, I mean, he is in complete command right now, and there's nothing we can do to stop him. And that's the double play to the inning. Nope. 7 strikeouts. What a bunch of horse shit. This game blows so many chunks. There's nothing to do but push a button. Bottom of the 7th. Well, Smith struck out twice. Now he's walked once. We have the leadoff man on. We'll hit and run with the worst hit and run guy on the team. Oh, he's going to gap it. Will Smith score from first? He does. Oh, man. Wilson, who literally has been terrible with hit and run scenarios, comes through and the game is tied. That's his 11th double. That's so dumb. This game just absolutely is horrible. Nothing that actually happens makes any sense. No baseball logic at all. Wilson will go to second just for the hell of it. I mean, go to third. Okay, well, they're going to pull the infield in. That's the right thing to do. We'll try to request a sac fly from Whitaker. It's not likely to happen here. I mean, there's nothing we can do but push the button, so. Well, he does hit a high fly ball. Will that be deep enough to score against Hurdle? It is. The Tigers take the lead on the sac fly. Full count to Parrish. And Parrish gets in on the action with a base hit to center. Going to hold him to a single. Parrish's average is almost above Lemon's. That's kind of embarrassing for Lemon. I can't believe Lemon's career is done at age 29 in this game. We go to the top of the 8th inning. We did kind of get to where we needed to go. 109 pitches for Blyleven. Between our 3 lefties, Paul Gibson is the only one that gets lefties out. And because his ERA is so high, I mean, I think we got to bring him in just based on, you know, the simple logic that he gets lefties out, and he's due to get his earned run average down. So it's a tough task. Oh, I forgot to bring him in. Tough task with Wade Boggs up there. He still bats .273 versus lefties. Here we go. 2-2 count to Boggs. A ground ball to second. Good job by the creeper. Can he get Pat Dobson? That is the question. Oh, that was a 3-1 count. He should have taken ball 4. Instead, it is a ground out. Good job by Paul Gibson. We're going to take him out and bring in Jeff Montgomery to face the righty, Jim Rice. Jim Bob, a 1-2 count, ground ball to first. All right, the bullpen does their gerb. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Mike Chris is suddenly up to 111 pitches. Here's Trammell leading off. Let's take a look at the in-game stats. 1 for 2 with a walk today. And a base hit back through the box. Mike Chris officially tired as Trammell thought about going to second. Got 3 lefties due up, so it stands to, I don't know, it stands to reason that they'll keep Chris in there despite being tired. Wow. Come on, Brett. You're better than that. That pitch was a mile outside. Brett 0 for 4 today. Yeah, it looks like our lefty dominance is over, right? I mean, our biggest problem is we don't have any righties on the bench for good backups. And a balk. That's dumb. So stupid. Yeah. I mean, that's what happened. That's the only reason he got balked. Is so Brock could go deep. That is Brock's 5th home run off of a left-hander. He has more home runs off of lefties this year than he's had in his entire career. And double digits for the Brock Nest Monster. We'll take it. We need it. 4-1 Detroit. Here is Kenny Smith. And he walked. So he struck out twice and walked twice today. That will bring in Randy St. Clair. The Red Sox bullpen is in shambles as you take a look at Randy St. Clair. He's got a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Ground ball percentage is 40%. His fastball is his only good pitch, rated an 87. Overall at 82. The 23-year-old righty goes to arbitration in 86. Okay, Big Willie. He is 1 for 3 today with an RBI. Smith on first. A high fly ball to right field. Clint hurdle. Makes the catch. 2 down now for Kevin Bass. 1-2 count and a ground ball to short. Should end the inning. It does. Okay, we're going to the 9th. We're going to keep Jeff Montgomery in there to close the ball game out. He does have a save this year, does he not? Yeah, he does. He was a closer in real life, but this is so early in his career. He wasn't even in the majors yet. Clint Hurdle leading off the top of the 9th inning, popping it up to short. Trammell making the catch. 1 out. Here is Dickie THON. Dickie THON 1 for 3 today. 1-0 count. And he gaps it. So this is going to be their junk run as THON gets a double. His 6th double of the year. Dennis Littlejohn up next. A ground ball base hit. Had to happen. Makes it 4-2. 1-1 count to Barrett. Ground ball to third, around the horn to end the ball game. Yep, that's just what the game does. Can't get mad for the programming. It's such a shitty job. We'll take the victory that ends the month of May. Oops, we're at Boston there. We ended the month of May 17-10 for the month. Pretty solid. I mean, it's better than April. So we were trending the right direction. We're not going to look at the standings. We will look at the headline news and the transactions because we will have the video later on today. 14-1, the Indians humiliate the Brewers. Mike Stanley had a couple of hits. Carl Pagel went 2 for 5. Corey Snyder went 2 for 5. That's not really all that interesting, but I'm assuming Garland got the win. The Athletics win 7-5 over the Rangers. Okay. And Detroit defeats Boston. So we're a half game back? That can't be right. I think it's 1.5 back. It doesn't matter. We'll find out. Yeah. And it just talks about what Boston didn't do. That should be the 7th win for Blyleven. That's pretty damn good. Transactions. We had a bunch of injuries. Today we have a contract extension for Harold Reynolds, who wasn't even in the major leagues yet in real life, but he's already got 2 full seasons, and he gets a contract extension. Big money, $630,000. How many years was that? 4-year deal. So I have to go in and update that. The game doesn't recognize it. And the best pitcher on Kansas City is going to be out for a month. Somehow, he's still hanging in there. Okay. Let's pull up the box score and get out of here, and then we'll be back later on today with that separate video where we look at the cumulative league leaders over the period of our sim history. And we'll look at the amateur draft as well as the standings through the month of May. There we go. That was a much more coherent way of saying it. Player of the game, I guess we're going to give it to Greg Brock. He had the 2-run home run. That was the blast that at least gave us a little confidence there in the 9th inning. Bert Blyleven does get his 7th win. He outlasts Mike Chris, who was totally dominant until the Red Sox left him in there for too long. Blyleven gets the win. He's 7-1. Jeff Montgomery gives up the run as he had to, but he gets his 2nd save. So not a bad job by the team overall, considering we had 3 relievers who were listed as tired. So that'll do it. We're going to catch you later on today with the summary video for the month of May. Until then, everyone, have a great day.